Hello, hello. This might trigger some people, but that's all right. You probably, if it triggers you, it means you need to have a think about this properly. There's been some posts lately. I think it came off a Stephen Bartlett podcast that he did with Piers Morgan, and I think as much as you love, loathe, hate, whatever you want to do about Piers Morgan, something he talked about was the importance of kind of having a career break and the ability to kind of take 6 months, take a sabbatical, do whatever you want to do to um, basically clear your mind, work out what you want to do. And I saw a lot of comments coming back to him about that's all right, you earn millions, you can do stuff like that. And in some ways, fair point. But also, he's living to a means, right? So he earns millions of pounds every year, and he has an option of he could spend millions of pounds every year, have no money left in the bank at the end of each month, and can't possibly take a sabbatical or can't get fired or whatever it is. And I think that's what we have to remember is just because someone earns loads of money doesn't mean that they're good with their money or they save the money. And if you are really fearful that you couldn't ever career pivot or you couldn't take a career break, then you need to have a long, hard think about how you're protecting yourself. Because the financial crisis, whatever it is, 15 years ago now, crazy, and the pandemic has taught us that companies will have to let people go. They'll have to restructure. They'll have to do all sorts of things because of nothing to do with you. So if you think you've got a job for life, or you think that you're completely protected because you're doing good at your job, you have to remember that like mergers and acquisitions happen, the world economics change, war, all these sorts of things. And if you're not able to look after yourself for 3 months, 6 months, firstly, it's a bloody scary situation to be in. And secondly, you have no ability to pivot yourself. You have no ability to change your career path because you've got this scarcity and you're fearful that you can't afford to take any time off. You can't afford to take the risk on the job that you've always wanted to do because you've got no savings. And you know that leads you to resent your job because you're doing your job because you have to do your job and you can't afford to lose it. And what happens if you lose it? And then your little mind goes crazy and you start like panicking. And that's a miserable fucking life because I've had that. So the really important thing is starting to build up that cash buffer. And again, I don't have enough money to save to do that. It's not talking about getting like a certain amount of thousands in the bank. It's talking about putting a little bit of your money away each month, like saving 10% of your income each month. It doesn't matter if you earn £1 million and then that'd be 100 grand put away, or if you're earning 20 grand and it's putting 2 grand away over the course of the year. The important thing is it's getting this habit of saving. And what's really important is putting that money out of your bank at the start. As soon as you get paid, put that 10% out. Put it in a separate bank account that's different card, something just that's hard to touch, because that means the money's there. It's out at the start of the month, so you don't spend on stuff that you don't need to impress people that you don't care about, and then suddenly go, I haven't got any money left to save at the end of the month. And I guarantee there are ways that you can save money, because a lot of you will be sitting there going, that's all right for you to say, but we live on the absolute minimum. There's always things you can do. A lot of you are probably watching this on a brand new iPhone saying, but it was a really good deal. Bollocks. You can optimize that. You can optimize the food you're eating. You can look at like one less takeout a month. You can look at like a couple less trips in the car. You can look at how to optimize what you're spending your like food money on, and like do bulk cooking and things like that. So I think the important thing is to get into this mindset that you need to have that cash buffer. So then in the future, if you want to make a change or if you're forced to make a change, it doesn't turn you into panic mode, that you can sustain yourself, that you can optimize your living expenses. I was talking to someone the other day. They spend a lot of money on Sky TV and they don't watch it, and they just haven't got around to speaking to Sky. Get on it. Think what you can put that money to use in the future. Maybe it's that career pivot, or maybe if you get to a stage where you've got even more cash buffer, it's your kids' university fund. So very important topic. Anyway, on that, I'll get off the rant. And if you think that you can't, think again. I mean, it is amazing what we can achieve. We have so many limiting beliefs that tell us that we can't afford something, we can't do something, we don't have enough of something, and where do I get started? And it's those little steps, those little habits that will get you going. So on that, have an awesome day. See ya.